Okay, so friends, second chapter of science subject in physics part, we are going to study force and laws of motion. In this chapter, we are going to take a very important topic, that how does a force react on a body, and for that we are going to study the various effects of the force on a state of body. So friends, we will try to understand this question by discussing some practical examples which occur around us. Like, if let us take the very first effect of the force, that okay, the very first effect of the force is that body itself can be deformed. Like, if a force is applied to any object, to any body, it is going to get deformed. Like, suppose if you take a rubber ball in your hand and with your two palms you are applying the force on it so strongly so that rubber ball will actually lose its shape. At the same time, we can understand it like that, if we have a spring, okay, if we have a spring in our hand and if we pull it in opposite direction, what is going to happen? That a spring will actually get deformed and it will be slightly lengthy. It will lose its original shape, but as it is actually flexible, so it may get its original shape. So friends, it is very important to understand the very first topic. In fact, the four effects are going to be there of force on a body. So these four effects must be memorized by you, as it is going to be very important in terms of exam. So when force is applied, okay, body or object changes its shape. And for example, we can understand it like this. Just take the example of this spring. If it has been pulled in opposite direction, so this is the spring, and on this spring we are applying the force from opposite direction. What is it going to be? It is going to have more length. It will be lengthier than the original one. So the shape of the body can change if the force is applied on a body. So second topic, change in position of a body. Okay, how can we understand it better? So if object is lying on a table, like here you take the example of this is a plane actually, and on which I am keeping a small book, and if this small book, okay, if this book is actually pushed, okay, if I just apply a small amount of force on it and if I push it forward, so what is going to be? It is going to show you the displacement. The place of the object will be changed. So this is again a very important effect of a force on a body or on a object, that a body is going to get displaced. Here it was getting deformed, okay. Maybe in some cases, if the body is flexible, or it can actually resist against the force, and then again it can retain its shape, so it can look as same as it was in the beginning. But here what I'm talking about, if we are actually applying a force to any object or on any body, it may happen that it can be displaced, means we will be able to see the change of position, okay, change in position of that particular body on which we are applying force. So this one is the second effect. Okay friends, now let us try to understand the third effect, that still there are any possible chances that we may see some more effects of the force on a body. Yes, there are some more effects. So when actually, as we have seen so far, that the shape can be changed, the position can be changed, okay. So now we are going to study that third effect of the force, that state of motion of a body can also be affected. Like state of motion, there, see friends, there can be two states of motion of a body. Like a body can be stationary, it can be at rest, and the second state of motion is that it can be moving. It is not actually stationary, it is not at rest. So in both the cases, when you are applying force to that body, what is happening actually, you will be able to change its state of motion. Means what? If a body is stationary, that stationary body can be brought into motion, and even vice versa case is also possible, that a body in motion can be brought to halt. Okay, it can be stopped easily by applying some force. Like if I give you one example, your friend is actually standing near you and is talking with you, but he is actually standing on his bicycle. But suddenly what happens, you give a strong jerk. If you apply some force to his bicycle, what happens actually, it moves on very fast, as it is the force applied to that particular bicycle, and it moves on. So there it was stationary, and your effect of the force can be seen easily, that it came into motion. So this one is the second effect. Third effect, in fact, effect of force. Now let us talk about the fourth effect of force. Now even as we have seen that the stationary body can be brought into motion, and in fact the motion objects, if the body is moving, that can be brought to a halt. But is it possible that body is already in motion, and will we be able to change its velocity? So yes, a moving body, okay, that moving body or a body in motion can actually face the change of direction, even a change of velocity. Moving body, there are two possibilities, that direction can be changed of moving object, and its velocity can also be changed. I'll give you some more practical example based on this fact. Like suppose already you have seen it in many sports, that if one footballer is passing, okay, is just actually carrying a ball through another footballer just to get close to that goal post. What happens in that case? If it is coming from one direction and another footballer just changes the angle of that particular ball, okay, and just pass it to his teammate. So in that case, we are seeing that body is already in motion, that football is actually moving, but the another footballer whosoever receives just changes its direction and pass that football to his teammate, so that he can be very close to goal post. So this is how we are able to see that moving body can actually face a change of direction when the force is applied on a moving body. The second case is that when you are actually applying a force to a moving body, what is happening? Its velocity can change. I'll give you one example of that also. I hope you all are watching cricket match. Okay, we are Indians, so we love to watch cricket. In fact, IPL is on the way. So now what we see in that cricket matches, bowler is already running fast, he tries his best and try to bowl as fast as possible. But at the same time, a double force is actually applied by the batsman. So you just see the direction is changed, even the velocity will also change when a batsman hits the ball, and if he hits it for a 6, you will see the bowler is bowling a straight ball, the direction is changed by the batsman, and even the velocity will be much more faster than the velocity was actually attained by the bowler on that ball. So this is how, friends, we are able to understand that there are 4 effects of the force on body. Like the very first one, the shape itself can be changed. The shape itself can be changed. Like this one is the chalk, and on this chalk stick, if I apply a force on it, I can actually break it, and there you see it is now in 2 different parts. Okay, so change of shape occurs when the force is applied. Second one was actually based on the position, that even the position can be changed. Like the chalk in my hand is stable, okay, but when actually I push it up or just apply some force in upward direction, there you see the toss, the chalk is in tossing form. Like if I toss it, okay, what happens? It is actually just flying in the sky. So this one is the second effect of the force, where we see the position of a body can be changed on applying the force if we exert force on it. Third one, we are talking that state of motion. Now there are 2. In fact, if a body is stationary, then even it can be called that it is having 0 velocity, because it is at rest. Okay, it's not moving, it is stable, it is stationary. Okay, so in that case, when suppose if a golfer, a very good example is of a golfer, what actually he usually does, that he keeps the ball steady on the ground, on that particular actually pin, on that particular small pin is there, which works as a platform for the ball to be in a rest position. Now what happens, he actually take a big swing and hits it very hard, So here we will be able to see that the state of a motion can be changed, like that stationary ball goes in motion. Okay, so this is the first case, that stationary body can be brought in motion by applying force on it. Second example of the same effect, like if that ball or body or anything you call it, it is in motion, at the same time you can actually brought into a stationary state. Like your friend is coming, he is cycling he is actually paddling the bicycle and is coming to you, but you becomes a Bahubali and stand in front of him and apply your force against his paddling. So you will be able to bring that bicycle into a state of stationary. So my friends, both the ways are possible when the force is applied on a body. Now the fourth one actually tells us, the fourth effect of the force tells us that if a body is already in motion, if a body is actually moving, there are 2 possibilities, that by applying the force, when we exert the force on that moving body, there are 2 possibilities, that we can actually change its direction, and the second is that we can also increase or decrease its state of motion, like its velocity can be increased or its velocity can be decreased. We have a great example of the same thing, that passing of football on a football ground by the footballers. As we see, there are some different type of sections of players. Some are actually playing at the forward position, some are actually playing very much near to the goal area, goal post. Okay, so that way we are able to understand that the ball is actually moving and its direction is continuously being changed by all the footballers. Okay, even in match of hockey, you will see that all the hockey players are actually passing the ball to their teammates. Okay, so every time that moving ball is changing its direction, okay, by the particular player who passes it to his teammates. Okay friends, and the same time we will be able to see that velocity can be changed. As I said previously, that a bowler is actually bowling. If spinner, there we have a very great example of a spinner. If he bowls, because the pace is very slow when a spinner is actually bowling, and what happens, suddenly aggressive batsman hits a 6. So there you see that velocity or the pace of bowler applied to a ball was very less, but when a batsman actually gets into aggressive situation and hits it very hard, the velocity becomes very much high. So that is one more effect of the force. That is very important to understand, that this is also the effect of the force on a body. So friends, very important question, it can be asked in examination, so just try to remember it. There are 4 effects of force on a body.